Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's live stream. I am here at Lindinhof, and yes, this is Megan and her fabulous AJ. And tonight we are going to do a probably short, but a live stream, and we're going to talk about turn on the forehand and kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the beautiful.
Just show good examples and then some really bad examples.
Yeah, so before we get started, thank you everybody who's coming in and watching this. Please give this a thumbs up, even if you are returning and watching this when it is available on demand on YouTube. We would appreciate you watching this with your ad blockers turned off, because one of the ways we are able to provide this to you free of charge is that YouTube can, of course, make its coins via promoting various sponsors and getting paid through ads. So if you guys would be so kind as to do that, that would help us keep this available for free on demand. And again, we ask you guys to subscribe to the channel. If you click the bell, you can turn on the notifications. You'll be notified of all this type of activity. And then I also have Megan's information down below in the description box, which includes her YouTube channel. If you'd like to subscribe to that, you'll see when she uploads new video as well. So the other thing would be, if you have questions, YouTube, if you are logged into your YouTube channel, you can ask any questions via the live stream. I will do my best to kind of wave and get Megan's attention from what she's working on, and see if we can handle any questions you might have. And if you are watching this after the live stream on demand and you have questions that maybe something came up and you were wondering a little more detail, please feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. And when I see them, I will let Megan know to take a moment to log in and try to go ahead and answer any questions you might have. But if you are viewing this live, you may ask them via the live stream chat, as long as you're logged into your YouTube channel. So I think that kind of takes care of most of our beginning introductory housekeeping stuff. I guess the only other thing I was going to mention is both on this channel, Opinionated Horsewoman, and then on Megan's YouTube channel, Lindinhof 1, we have live stream playlists set up in which we are adding our weekly live streams to, so that if you want to go back and watch some of the topics we have covered, you can either go on this channel or you can go on Megan's channel and you can click into that playlist and watch whatever you want to watch on demand. So I think that's about all our housekeeping stuff. But hello, Megan and AJ.
Hey, how are you guys?
I am freezing my butt off. What is with you people in Wisconsin and going from summer to winter?
It's Wisconsin.
Oh my
Good
God.
time.
No.
Good time. It's coming.
It's cold.
Fall is here. Winter's coming.
I feel like we went from summer to winter almost.
And the fur coat's on. So
oh my
ready.
Gosh, it's cold out.
Yeah, it's cold. Well, let's get started.
Okay.
Today we're going to talk about turn on the forehand. And turn on the forehand is great for all horses, whether you're just starting your horse or you have your Grand Prix horse. And what is the point of turn on the forehand? So as a young horse, if they are just started under saddle, it's a great exercise to introduce inside leg to outside rein, just asking them to move away from your inside leg and keeping them contained or with you on your outside rein. There's no better exercise than the turn on the forehand. Let's say you have a lazy horse, or maybe a horse that's not very responsive to your inside leg. They're not moving away, leg yield. You're not getting enough bending through their body. And no matter what age, if it's a 6-year-old to, again, a school horse, you could change direction through turn on the forehand. You can just simply ride a 360-degree turn on the forehand. So to get them more responsive to your inside leg and a little bit quicker off that leg. If you have a horse maybe that's not coming through from one leg, maybe they're a little bit lazy with one leg, you might want to ride a transition, come to the halt, and ride a turn on the forehand. So there are many places in our training, and I can tell you honestly, like with young horses, I'm really big with the turn on the forehand, and then somewhere in the middle, I forget about it. And so I think that's why I decided to pick the turn on the forehand today, because we don't use it in a test. And so a lot of times people get stuck, you know, our end of our show season is about upon us, and we're going to go into training, and I think it's such a great exercise. It's also such a great exercise for riders learning how to put the horse on the bit, or maybe they're going through a phase where they're having issues with contact, and we start to resort to maybe a little seesaw, and we can get our horses down, but then our trainer asks us to maybe, they're starting to introduce movements like a leg yield or shoulder in, and we can keep the contact for a quarter of a circle, half of a circle, and then we lose that connection. And so that's a good place to maybe add in our turn on the forehand as a reminder. We have a question.
That would be from me.
Uh-oh.
So would you, as an instructor, find this a useful tool to kind of determine whether or not, you know, verify maybe is the right word of saying it, a student has maybe an overactive leg or a dead leg where it kind of looks like they're using it, but they're not. So,
oh yeah, so
or like, imbalances or
same thing. So it applies to the student, and it also applies to the horse. So when, let's say I'm teaching a student and I ask them to ride a turn on the forehand, or we could call it a fan around a corner, is another example. And if they can't, I'll show you that.
Yeah.
I'll demonstrate it. If they cannot ride, let's say the horse is pivoted, meaning they're not stepping with their front legs and they're just spinning around their front legs. Maybe the rider has too much hand, too much outside rein. And then let's say the horse won't even turn around in a turn on the forehand. They're just walking off. And that's an example that maybe that rider doesn't have enough hand. Or maybe it's a horse issue and the horse is not responsive to that outside rein. And so what's a good thing to do in a case like that is to ride just one or two steps of the turn on the forehand and then halt and make the horse wait. And then again, teaching them, hey, get off my leg, another 2 steps, halt and wait. So awesome. The turn on the forehand has so many uses for everyone, all riders. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner or advanced rider. So let's go ahead and show you. We'll wake AJ up. What a turn on the forehand is.
Hang on a second. Our video seems to be, I'm sorry to anybody who's live. I seem to have Megan like stuck on.
All right, am I unstuck?
I don't know what's going on. Like everything seems to. Can anybody see us?
I'm gonna describe a circle and then at the door I'll turn across. You tell me when we're okay.
I don't know what's going on here. Can anybody see us? Anybody's on the live? It seems to be, and I don't know. It says our internet's connected, but we're sitting here at like 4:58, and you're still standing in the middle. So I'm confused as to what's going on.
I'll walk them until you're ready.
All right, hang on, folks. All right, I think we're back. Most apologies to everyone. Hopefully you're able to hear that. We are back, Megan.
Oh, we are.
It appears the stream has jumped. We have jumped from 4 minutes 58 seconds to 9 minutes.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. So what I'm going to do, this is how I first asked for a turn on the forehand. I would turn across the arena on a straight line, and then we're going to put in enough space that we can do 2 of them. And so I would first start from the halt and really make sure that my horse is on my outside rein. And the other thing is I would start, if my horse doesn't know, I'd start with whip. And I want him to move away from my right leg, so I would have a whip in my right hand, not the left. And that's really important. A lot of times when we're busy working, we don't change it. And I usually don't change the whip. However, in this particular exercise, I would. And so what I would do is put my right leg just slightly back, and my right leg's going to talk to the right hind, because I want the right hind to come forward and a little sideways. And so I'll ask him to move sideways. And so let's say we were on a young horse, like that exercise I talked about, I would just move him 2 steps. And also it doesn't hurt to do this with an older horse as well, to make sure, like, is he really on my aids? And the circle could be a little bit tighter. But what's more important is that he stays stepping and then halt. And it's very important that you complete it, that there truly is an ending. You don't go past the point either, that he's truly on those outside eight. And so then I'm going to show you one.
So you're saying make a plan and end it where your plan is,
Exactly.
not just kind of willy-nilly.
No, you should never do this willy-nilly because this is really detailed work, right? You want to own the steps that he's stepping. You also want to own the alignment of his body. So I'll show you another good one off the left leg. And again, I'm going to start it from the halt. And so I want to slide my left leg back. I relatively want to sit square on him. I mean, sometimes we talk about the seat and we shift our seat to the right, but I think it's important that you don't overdo things in the turn on the forehand. It's truly inside leg to outside rein, and the seat is neutral. And so again, and then I halt him. Like I check in. See there, I had asked him to halt one stride sooner, and he just kept going. Now, they also want to get the exercise over with, right? A lot of times the older horse knows what's happening. And so we did 180 last time. This time we're going to do a full 360. And again, it's good to know like the size of the circle that you're making, you know, and how big, how small is it, and that you're truly in charge, and that you end where you want to end. So that was a half, 180 degrees. And then that was a full, the second one was a full 360. And so what you could also do, I did it from the halt. Another exercise that I like to do, let's say, I'm trying to figure out without running you over.
You can tell me to move and just tell me where you need me.
You're fine.
Okay.
So I pretend I came from the right side, but let's say I'm riding a leg yoke. And he is not moving over. And then I would add an horse falling out through my left rein. So I would ask for that turn on the forehand right in between my leg yoke. See that? And then I have to make sure I correct it. So I'll do another one. I'll straighten him, and now I'll ride a leg yoke to the right. And so let's say he were falling out. Let's say we were riding a leg yield like this, and I couldn't bring the haunches. So how I might correct that is start riding a turn on the forehand and really make sure he's hot off my inside leg. And I have to make sure that this turn on the forehand doesn't get big. The first half was a little big. And then I finish my leg yield. See that? So that might be another place to put it in. Another, let's say, exercise where you do it is you're going from the trot, and you just feel like he's not responsive to that inside leg. And so what you could do is ride a circle, walk. You could either halt right here or just go right into that turn on the forehand. Or he's not coming up in the bridle like right now. And say, come on. Good boy. And then walk up. And then try. Let me see. Do I have? Yeah, I do. So good. So there's a few examples, good examples to show you. Now let's talk about bad examples, right? So again, not having a plan. Let's say I'm not having a plan. This has happened in many lessons. And then you just start.
And you're all over the arena.
All
Yep.
over. There was no. And where did I turn? I don't even remember where I think. I think I turned at E. And look at how far away from the line from E to B. So first of all, there was no starting point, and then I just shoved him over. See, this is what's really important to see. So let's do it badly for AJ. Then I'm just shoving him. See how he's toppling over? And the main thing is dressage is about balance. And so for the turn, and I'm sure you're good one, and for him, so perfect. That watch this. There's balance. He's not dropping his left shoulder. He's actually coming up a little bit in his wither versus just toppling over. So that's really important that there truly is a balance from your inside leg and your outside brain. The other thing, when you're sitting on top, actually we should go from the right now because I don't want to do too many to the left. I want to have it balanced. The next thing is in terms of alignment, right? I want my horse's body to be in alignment. And so a lot of times that I see is we want to get the shoulder started and going first to get him moving. And so a lot of times, and we say a little bit of flexion, but people overbend. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, let me come around and show them from behind. Hang on, AJ, buddy. Coming around. Okay, so I'm quickly behind, and you guys see, you can really see a lot of AJ's head.
And then you'll see he just, and it's hard. Like I'm like, if he wasn't as good as he is, I'd be shoving him, right? So if you're the rider, maybe recognize and notice how big it has to be. So see how he's falling on that shoulder? That's not correct.
So
he drops through this right shoulder, and it's not a connection.
That actually leads to another thing that I think a lot of introductory, like training level riders, they don't understand even at a 20-meter circle, like a truly correct bend. Like a lot of people think that's a good bend. And you showed like this exact footage you guys just saw within the last minute perfectly showed as you kind of came around, Megan, on there, how much you were losing that shoulder.
Yeah, and how much was to a good one, right? On how it's more, see, even here in the hall, I'm holding that outside rein. And then I start with my right leg. See that? I'm pushing into this left rein. It's not him falling out. See that?
Yep.
He's like, Mom. And I would have liked to stop a little bit sooner so that I really control those haunches, that I know when I start and stop. I don't know if I can get him to do this, but
we're getting a little far away from the speaker.
Okay.
Can we scooch on back down to your, I'm just concerned that they're going to be able to hear you.
The next thing in the turn on the forehand is the pivot. And honestly, I don't know if I can get him to do this. But we're going to try.
Poor AJ. Thank you, AJ, for being our guinea pig.
Let me go. I said I didn't want it away from my left leg, but I can't see. I'm going to use my fingers. So we don't want our horses to pivot. Why? We don't want that to work.
Wait, what? Tell me what you mean by pivot.
That's what I'm trying to show you.
Okay.
So that, see how he's good, right? There was 1 second where he just spun, like right there.
Yes.
Right? He's trying to set because then left beyond the nose.
Yeah.
So he takes the arm and pivot.
So you mean like planting a leg?
Yeah, I don't want him to play, right?
Yep.
I want him to take a step. And so if the horse is just sitting around, there's no forward momentum.
Sure.
And then this is dressage. Everything should be here in the details. If he's either stuck, right, somewhere in the back, he's not moving towards the mid, or I'm restricting so much that he's pivoting. Also, let's say you're teaching maybe a horse that's from another discipline.
Mm-hmm.
In other disciplines, it's okay for them to actually want to pivot.
Yes.
That's like horsemanship. They want to pivot. I think Western pleasure is and that's a different discipline. But in our discipline, we want them moving towards the bed, you know, to put them on the bed. And it's all the same things that we ask for. So when your instructor says, put your horse on the bed and walk off camera, ride a circle, right there, if you can't do a turn on the forehand, you won't be able to put your horse on the bed.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Perfect.
we talked about pivot, we talked about bending, backwards. Okay, let's see.
Poor AJ. And hello to Faya the Maria Vlogs. Thank you so much for stopping in. We appreciate your comments.
So we're gonna walk it forward just a little bit.
Okay.
And then,
if anybody has questions, ask them in the, go ahead and ask them in the live stream chat. I can't necessarily respond to them, but I can certainly try to get Megan's attention and ask her any questions you might have. So back to you, Megan.
okay, so now I'm going to do it fast. So what you don't want is this. And then see this?
Yeah.
And so this is a good example of front to back driving. Okay, you might hear this from your instructor. What the heck does front to back driving mean? So again, maybe you're learning how to put your horse on the bit. And so of course, like any good student, pull on the reins and look at his head goes down, right? He's on the bit, right? No, he's not. You want to push him from the leg. You want him to come up. Did you see that change? And I didn't go like this. So that turn on the forehand just showed you. So if I'm going like this, and I'm trying to bring him on the bit, and he's stepping backwards, we're using too much hand and right. What you want to do, and I am going to back him up, so I have a little bit of space to walk forward, but then we're going to just do good. For the turn on the horse has to, even in the hall, has to always be forward to the bit. So there's a forward momentum to this turn on the forehand. He's taking steps, maybe those are a little bit too big, but we want to be forward to the ground, not backwards. So that's again another version that we don't want it. Maybe our horses think backwards. Maybe it's not always the rider. The most of the time it is pulling them back, but I have many horses that he'll stop. And again, this is a good exercise to push them to the bit. It shows them the bit is not so bad and that he can have that with their hand, but it is okay for us to feel their mouth. Yes.
So I have a question. Now, are you concerned about how the legs are crossing? This way or this way? Front.
Yeah, we don't want them backwards. That's what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that's what I wanted to point out. I guess is why I wanted to point that out, is because if you guys look back at how she just badly demonstrated it, the horse was actually, well, AJ was trying to do it right. He really was. But yeah. So, and he does it very well because he is an FEI horse. He crosses over in the front and behind. That might be a little hard for like a really young green horse to make that front step over. Right. They might not have the flexibility yet in their body like a Grand Prix horse has.
But that's hard, you know, like when you're starting out, you know, you might not do a 360. You might just do working towards 108 or even a quarter. There's another exercise I just thought of it. Is a square.
I was just gonna say, can we show everybody the square? Let me back out of the way here. Hopefully I won't fall on my face, and I'll give you this end of the arena.
But again, like I said, it's super important that you take the time. Like you don't have to ride, you know, every step. You can ride 2 steps and then halt. So here we're gonna start a square, and so we're just gonna keep it continuous. And then just do a quarter. And we'll do another quarter. So you can do this all the way around. All of them around. And you keep them walking. And I collected it a little bit before the turn. I think that's important too, but maybe with the green ones they don't go. But it's good to think about and then turn. Now the next thing we could do, so this is a square. You could also do it this way, which is kind of cool, from the left leg or alternate. alternating like we are. So instead, do a full, actually, what is that? That's 3/4, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? And then you could alternate. This is what's great about the square. You could do just a 1/4, right? And now we're going to go off the left leg. And so for a lazy horse, it's taken quicker. And then you can also go the other way. It's a way to change. So we could change and go the other way. So we can change direction on this one.
He has no idea what you're going to ask, so he has to listen.
And you could even go further. So like, let's say I'm going to change direction, but I'm going to do a full on and then 180 degrees. Boom. See that?
Mm-hmm.
So what's nice is number one, I wouldn't always do the same thing. I mean, starting out when you're introducing this exercise, the square, you can just do the 1/4. And the thing is, I mean, the insane actually a little bit is he goes a little bit too far. So you have to watch, first of all, am I pushing too much? Or is he anticipating? Or is he falling out my outside leg? I would have said he's falling out my outside leg. So that's another great exercise for turn on the forehand.
I think that's pretty good. So, yeah.
Is a half a circle around the corner. So let's say, so if you want to go into the corner there of their stuff.
Yep.
So let's say I'm trotting and the horse is running me into the wall. Right? Let's just say that for an example of how to do this. I'm trotting down the little side and my horse is running into the wall. Or I rode a trotting extension down the long side and my horse is crooked. Right? And it's following that last shoulder. And so what I would do is I'm halting here and I visualize I have a circle around this corner and I wanted the same measurement from the corner. I wanted the same distance. And so I wanted to end up with my right leg along the wall and the same distance away from the corner to X. And so what I do, and remember, my legs have to travel a greater distance around the corner. And I would hold my shoulder. And again, like everything else, I can halt at any time. And this was pretty good. And it can be just like any other turn on the forehand. So for example, it could be ask for the turn on the forehand and they just run. This is a bad example. See this? Just out that shoulder. See that?
Yep.
And of course, I have too much bending to the right. How I straighten it is I actually use my outside rein to straighten to the neck. And when you can think about using both reins evenly, so the neck stays even on both sides. Another example is a haunch is leaning too much. See that? And so let's say this happens under opening rein. So I'm fixing it, opening it so the shoulder can go out. Of course, you can see I don't end up the same distance away from the horse. This was again another bad one. And sometimes horses like that are just plowing through the ring. There's ripping on themselves, let's say, right? Just great example saying, hey, I'm not the ring. So they'll just change the right into the wall like this and can't stop them. And so when this happens, like it's very easy to go calmly bring it back, right? This is where I want to get. And I have to do but forward sideways, not backwards, right? And let's say he takes me forward again, I'm just going to let him. And so again, the horse just ran off with me. So then I calmly call them. They don't understand what we're asking. I bring him back to the line that I want him to be on. And then I stop. And then I start again. And I bring my hands over. Can you see that? To bring his shoulders. And sometimes you have to take it into parts, right? So if the horses aren't really then after we get the idea, I would start to add in the haunches, and that gives me another version is that the haunches, see that, and this happens because the horse will eat like they're tight in their shoulder. They don't want to come out. So again, another example of help our horses become more open in the shoulder. And so what I would do is I help them, and I take my energy and I move them sideways, and then I would also keep my outside leg back to guard in the haunches. And again, he takes over, I just palm back and I'm not I would stop him. So if he treats something he doesn't understand what I'm not doing, I would stop him. I would back him up to the line that I want, and then I would ask him again. And so this is really big exercise. Even just change rate. Let's say I have a great one side. And instead of running the bed, I just call it back, change rate, or a turn on the the other thing is you could ride turn on the forehand 12 over 20 meters. So I'll give you the example of going across the arena, but another example, I'll go down this one side, like we were trotting, and I'm like, oh, I want to keep the direction, I can go to the left, right? Nothing's wrong. But then I can hold it, and if I'm not, I would then reflect it back on the wall, right? I might take a little bit further off the wall, then I take it to the right, and then I would ride forehand, and he's a little backwards because he's not already wrong, but I could ride my forehand right there on the ball. Again, this is another example of where you're anywhere. The one thing though is don't push your horse into the wall. You know, that's why when I was showing you them going straight across the arena, there's plenty of room because especially if you're riding a beat horse, you know, or a horse that you've never ridden a turn on the forehand, maybe they're uneducated, they don't know about it, give them lots of room, you know, because Beijing is making it look really easy. I can tell you, if a horse doesn't understand what I'm asking, and it's a young horse, it doesn't look this pretty. It doesn't start out this pretty. It may be quite large, actually, but again, you just have to take your time and say, okay, I'm just going to go through the steps. You have a line like the family circuit, you kind of visualize on the ground, like this is the line I want my horse on. And when you're walking, you're on it, and he changes, and you firmly halt, and you have to change it back to where he changed. If he ran forward, halt, bring it back. If he ran backwards, set it forward, and then again, just after 2 steps. If he gets it, doesn't get it, just calmly halt, put it back where you want it, and skip it. So, yeah.
Okay, so question would be, obviously, let's go back to AJ is a 4-year-old just under saddle, truly learning the concept of your legs mean move this way. 2 legs means go forward, 1 leg means go sideways, blah, 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 right? Would you ever utilize the wall to kind of reinforce, okay, you know, like young horses get very confused, obviously. They don't speak the English language. This is what, like, you as a trainer clearly understand this. A lot of amateurs, juniors, they're thinking like, why does the horse not understand this? So would you ever utilize the wall to do, for instance, like walk to the wall and then maybe do like a quarter turn to say, okay, you can't go forward, so I've taken that confusion away from you, you know, you push in whatever direction and then yay, you learned.
Actually, I would take well, I would do that, or I would even ride a light heel down the long side. You know, let's say they just aren't understanding.
Can you demonstrate that with him?
Do that.
Okay.
Next. But the other thing, even take it a further step back, I would put it on the ground.
Yeah.
I didn't say that before. But maybe if it's a super green horse, I would be off my horse, I would be holding the reins so that way they can feel that concept, well, maybe not even that first step, I might just be in the cross guys, pushing them away, and then I come out here and I stand on one side and I just push them away, and then push them away. So I would actually start on the ground, and then the next step, so we'll show you the leg nails along the rail. And again, I would really start in a walk. You know, like we don't run first, we crawl first.
No need to add speed to the confusion of
Yeah,
things.
you know, and it just gives you the rider, if you're a learner, I would do it in a walk. And so, like, the thing is maybe just move your horse off the wall that much. Yeah, and then walk on and trot. And I'm going to do 10,000 of them down the roadside. I mean, I'm being funny, so let's say I'm going to do 5. I would do 1. Over adult temperatures over much, and so then over analyze. And so let's say I was just coming around with 1 5, I'm not being here, whenever I run that, and then if he's good, call, yay, good boy, or maybe 16 to 1, I'm gonna let you know down the side. Yeah, but again, it's really baby horse. I would go for 3 steps. I wouldn't go for that, that first time. You know, in the first step, my goal would be to get down the side or the football thing, depending on how it's developing, and then straighten and move on. You know, and I would not be too loud. Depends on how big your small area, right a circle or take straight. So again, show you that leg tilt. Eventually, if then move up to the trot, then you can trot it. Like a little bit to the right. And then when we're ready, go the whole way. And that's a great exercise for our horse. And I'm going to show you this way. So we move along the left rein, or left leg, excuse me. And then now this is my leg, and look, coming forward rather than away rein. And then I try to hit so that I'm not holding it. And if they aren't getting it, this horse that is running the race, this is not a great exercise because yes, you can utilize the wall rather than pulling back on the race. So we'll do that exercise again, the leg heel towards you, see it again rather than the leg. So here we are along the rail, and now the exercise. Good. And then I hit, and then I straighten. Good.
And you end by straightening.
Yeah. Straight.
Yeah. Well, for where I am, all I see are 2 legs.
Yeah, so that's also important. Before the corner, always straighten and move on. And like I said, if you really are training a young, really green horse, don't expect it to happen. Don't expect more than 3 steps, you know, because this is confusing, especially if a horse dog tracks to the right, and now you're asking them to move to the left. They're so much more comfortable with the dog track. And that goes back to another thing that on the forehand is great. Straightening our horses. So if our horse is crooked and really crooked,
and most horses are left or right-handed, exactly. One or the other, like we are.
Use that turn on the forehand to straighten up. Look at it. Like, what in the world?
What a good boy.
So I think that's great, right?
Poor AJ's like, I did not expect this.
I know, like, hey, it's nap time, guys. So yeah, that's turn on the forehand. It's such a fabulous exercise for everyone, whether it's riders, whether it's for trainers training our horses, whether it's for adult amateurs, developing a better inside leg, outside rein connection, better for junior young riders getting control of maybe a fresh horse. It's just a great exercise for all of us.
Naughty ponies.
Naughty ponies, developing a better connection over the top line. So we're changing rein.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, thank you, AJ. So do we get to see anything fun to end this up? Oh, come on. You did a couple of half steps. We could.
Let's do that next time.
Oh.
We'll just keep filming. Next time, maybe either do leggings.
Yeah.
The next one we shoulder in,
Let's just go from turn on the forehand fan to full on piaf passage. There's nothing in between. No.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, AJ. Sorry to confuse you, buddy. Appreciate you being a good guy. So, well, thank you, Megan.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for showing up.
Yep.
Yeah, video asking awesome questions.
Yeah. So we always ask at the end of the thing. I do have a little bit of information down below, but if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, what would the easiest and best ways to find you?
Well, they can call AJ at 608-445-8531.
I didn't know AJ had a cell phone.
Got it. And then he also has email, which is lindinhofllc@gmail.com. He has his own YouTube account, Lindinhof1. So check us out on YouTube. And then he has Facebook, Lindinhof Equine Sports Center. So he's all about it.
Yeah, he's quite the social butterfly, isn't he? All right, cool. And again, you guys, I've linked some of that information or provided some of that information below in the description. And again, if you're watching this on demand and you have questions, something that maybe we didn't answer or something that you didn't understand and were confused, go ahead and ask them down below in the comment section. I will make sure I let Megan know if something shows up down there, and she will come in and try to go ahead and answer any questions you might have. So thanks, everybody. We try to do these live streams on Tuesday nights. I know probably everybody on the planet is probably preparing or watching right now the political debate, but appreciate those who have stopped by. We've definitely had a few people stopping in and out. So thanks, everybody. We appreciate it. Remember to hit subscribe. Go over to Megan's channel, subscribe to hers as well. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.